Hey everybody, I wanted to post a video along with your group project instructions kind of explaining what I'm looking for. Some people are more visual learners, others you'll get it just reading the instructions. Here's what I'd like for you. I'll read it and then kind of explain it. So each group will be assigned a current topic. You'll see in the instructions your group. I've only grouped you by first name, but you can look at that and see who's in your group, and then what topic that you are researching and you're going to do a presentation on, or submit your project on. So your group will submit a brief on your specific topic that includes, here's the things that I'm looking for: a definition of the issue and why is it important in Christian ethics. So I want you to define it clearly, and then what's its relationship to Christian ethics, why it's important to Christian ethics. Second thing is an outline of a Christian ethic based on the different methodologies we've studied in class: the Sermon on the Mount, the narrative, topical, which we haven't. I don't have a textbook for you. We've talked about this in some of the lectures, but Ethics for a Brave New World is available as an ebook on the Fuller website, and you can look at various topical books that will be helpful. So topical ethics from the margins, you can use Park, you can use Woodley, you can use De La Torre, Riggs, or Emily Towns. So ethics from the margins. Your group should answer the question, what does each method offer in the formation of a Christian ethic on this topic? As you've seen in the lectures on race, some methodologies offer a little bit more than others. Like on race, you're not going to get, you might get a chapter on race, but there's not, in a topical book, but there's not a specific passage about race. It's just you're going to have to draw some analogies between the divisions between Jew and Gentile and some of the other divisions in the ancient world, but it's not the same as a racialized construct of humanity. And so you have to draw some analogies there. So give an outline of a Christian ethic. What do these different methodologies have to offer? This doesn't have to be a paper. You can just do this as much as you can in a outline form. So your group should answer the question, what does each method offer in the formation of a Christian ethic on this topic? Third thing that I want you to do is give a short outline with a few references of the best argument from the other side. So if you're, for example, taking capital punishment and you're arguing against capital punishment, then what I want you to do is briefly outline in probably a page or less the opposite view, and not just the opposite view, but the best argument that you can find of the opposite view. That way you're understanding the issue and the question from both sides. Okay, so give a short line with references of the best argument from the other side. Fourth, I'd like you to craft a 1 to 2 page carefully written statement. This is not an outline. This is actually a carefully written statement with good prose, active sentences, right punctuation and grammar, etc., that articulates your group's conclusions on what a rich and textured Christian ethic looks like on this topic. So you have to limit it to 2 pages, but I want a statement basically on your group's position on this topic. And think of this in relationship to maybe your church has come to you, or you work for, a lot of you work for Young Life. Young Life has come to you and they've asked you to do a position paper for them that's 2 pages long on this specific topic. How would you write that? That's what I want you to do. So craft a 1 to 2 page statement that articulates your group's conclusions. And then finally, provide a short list, again, no more than 1 page, of questions that you still have or things that you are considering for further research. This is a short project. It's a week long. You're not going to be able to get everything in there. And so there should be some questions that remain unanswered. There should, you all might not have consensus. So maybe there's some reservations that you have as a group or somebody has raised in the group, or there's just other things that you want to research. So I want you to list those out. This doesn't have to be like number 4. This can be just a list. these kinds of things. So then you'll be asked to submit your project in each of your group's portals, and then for the next week, so you'll submit that on Friday. I'll receive them, and then for the next week, I will post them into the class discussion forums, and I'll post each group's, and then you can read each group's projects, and then you can begin to comment, ask questions, those kinds of things. So instead of like maybe doing in a classroom, we'd have you present and answer questions. This is your way of presenting and answering questions. So it'll be kind of document based. But you can include video if you'd like to include video. You can include PowerPoint or presentations or anything like that. So creativity is not required, but it's encouraged. How you should answer the question, how can we get people to engage with this or to interact with this as much as possible? So creativity is encouraged. So this week, your group project week, you will be doing the research and writing the project. You will submit that not this Friday, but next Friday, and then on the next week, your reading will be reading each other's projects, and this will give you kind of a broad scope of some of the issues, not all of them, of course, but some of them, and how do we begin to apply a Christian ethic to them. So that's the idea. I'll monitor your groups in the forums and your interactions in the forums as well. If you do a Google Doc, make sure to invite me into the Google Doc so that I can also monitor your conversations as well. And then you'll be graded on your presentation and your project, on your interaction with the other group's presentations, and on fielding questions on your own presentation. So you'll submit on Friday. You won't get a grade back until after the next Friday when the whole week is completed. So this is kind of a 2-week group interaction project. The first week is research, creating a statement, etc. The second week is interacting with the other groups' projects and presentations. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, hopefully that is clear. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to hold an office hour at noon on Thursday. So that's noon on Thursday. If you have any questions after you've looked at this. So the idea, what I want you to do is I'm giving you this to you on Wednesday so that you can get a running start on organization. I know some of you have other classes that you're taking, so please you don't have to start until Monday, but some people like to, take the long road and they don't like to rush at the end. And so you can get started, but you can at least get organized so that you can get started. So hopefully that's enough to go on for now. And then if you have more questions, you can jump into the office hour, or you can text me or call me. Here are the topics that we're going to be talking about, and then you'll be doing projects on. Each group will be only assigned to one topic. The first one is capital punishment. A Christian sexual ethic is another. Climate change and ecological ethics. Reproductive technologies and genetic engineering. Christian faith and politics. And then abortion. And so we're going to look at those 6 questions and topics for Christian ethics. Okay? As always, if you have questions, just please feel free to ask. And then again, I'll have office hours tomorrow at noon if you want to ask more questions.